Comic nerds and geeks. Today I have another review video, and this time it is for the Marvel Legends MCU Deluxe Roleplay Glove Infinity Gauntlet. Now, as the name implies, it can be worn and used. It has various sound effects. One for when you activate the glove by pulling one of the fingers, that way it knows you're ready to use it. The second sound effect, the sound effect in which it makes when you move one of the fingers. Sound effect number 3, when you press onto this Infinity Stone, and it'll make a sound effect representing one of the stones being used. So I will place my earbud next to the glove so that way you can hear the sounds for yourself and find out whether or not it would be annoying or agitating for yourself. I will admit, for me, it can be very annoying, which is why I remove one of the batteries most of the time. But whenever I want to have the sound effects going, for example, for this review video, I can easily just pop this off and lift this, because I don't leave it screwed in, and place the battery in. Alright, let's get started. That was all 3 possible sound effects from the Infinity Gauntlet. Now I will remove one of the batteries and do the rest of the review. Alright, with one of the batteries removed, I will tell you more about the Gauntlet. Now, the Gauntlet does take 3 AA batteries and has various features. Of course, you've seen the sound effect feature. Now I will show you the Infinity Stones. Time, power, space, reality, soul, and mind. In case you did not see that, I will go ahead and go through them again. The green is time, the purple is power, the blue is space, the red is reality, the yellow or orange is soul, and the yellow, the biggest of them all, is mind. Now first, this stone was retrieved from Doctor Strange's magical necklace, I believe they call it. I'm not sure what it's called, but it was retrieved from the Sanctum Sectorian, or whatever they call it. This is the Power Stone. Now, this one was retrieved in-universe a week before he started attacking everyone else for the Infinity Stones. It takes place a week before the movie in-universe takes place. Now, this one is the Space Stone. This one was retrieved from the Tesseract, in which Loki hid. The red one is reality. The Reality Stone was retrieved from the Collector. The Soul Stone. This stone holds a special place among the Infinity Stones. Therefore, it requires a sacrifice. The user, or whoever wishes to collect this stone, must sacrifice the thing they love most in order to receive this stone. Now, this stone requires that sacrifice So that way it ensures the user understands the full capability and power of this specific stone. The Mind Stone was the stone implanted into Vision's head as, I believe, a power source. Because as we've seen before, these stones are very powerful alone, and are even more so when they're together. Now, as you can see, this gauntlet is very, very detailed, to the point where it's almost insane. And in case you do break it, so you can see if you can repair it. You can maybe repair it by unscrewing this part and removing it from this section of the gauntlet. It will, after unscrewing it, will lift off, so that way it can be lifted off, so that way you have a chance to repair it. Now, each of the fingers can be moved by rings inside the gauntlet. Now, there is a trade-off. This gauntlet is made for adults, so although it can fit anyone, to be able to use these rings, you'd have to have pretty long fingers and pretty big hands. In fact, even for me, the thumb ring kind of hurts because my thumb isn't long enough for it. But I can still move all 5 digits. If you have small hands, maybe you can slip past that bar and still pull the rings, but it's rather difficult if you do. Now, there's a trade-off with the rings. Being that they're made of plastic, after a while of use, they will begin to hurt. And I can say you begin to get used to it, but it will hurt at first. I know my fingers were glowing red after 15 minutes of use. Alright, another feature for the Infinity Gauntlet is this little switch right here can be pulled to lock the fingers in place. So you can do something like that. It can, unfortunately, it cannot pose the fingers in any position. It can only lock a finger down. So you could have his hand like this, but not like this. I will admit there are some features that I wish it had, but it doesn't. One feature I wish it had was at least one switch to turn off sound effects, even if all 3 batteries are in. Because I honestly love the fact that the Infinity Stones will glow, but I do not like the sound effects. They are, in my opinion, very annoying. But it would be even better if they had a switch to control each of its aspects, like sound effects, lights, and all. But of course, I still do love it. And as I said, you can just simply leave it unscrewed and remove the battery, but considering its price, I kind of did expect more from it. Now that I mentioned price, I think it's time we get to price. Now, this is it pulled up on Amazon. This is the best price I've seen. $92.98. Now, I will say, if you get it at GameStop, it'll be $99.99. But if you're a pro member or elite pro member, you can get points. So depending on whether or not you are one of those, determines whether or not Amazon is the better deal, as well as personal preference. If you don't go to GameStop very often, those points are kind of useless to you. But I tend to go to GameStop quite often, especially recently. So it was very useful to me. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but this gauntlet is very big. And to show you how big, here's a foot-long ruler. The glove is over a foot long and over half a foot wide. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.